Hello and welcome back to our survival let's play on No Man's Land. As I said at the end of the last episode, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get some manure on this grass field, because it's the one that doesn't have any on. I ran out before. Oh, I misjudged that spreading width, didn't I? That's because I've just come off Calmston spreading fertiliser with a much bigger spreader. Yeah, we need this one done. Shouldn't I be going quicker than 8 mile an hour? It's because I'm going uphill with the tractor that has no power. Manure spreader. 12 mile an hour, yeah. We're picking up now. I might just have to come back and keep going downhill with it. The reason I'm using this one is simply because our Fiat is still up at our industrial site, our production site, so basically this one was to hand. I normally use the Fiat when I'm doing the spreading. Certainly on fields like this where there's hills. There's quite a lot to get through today. I mean, we're in the second half of July. I say the second half of July. What I mean is, this is the second video that we're doing in this in-game month. Get spun around. And we'll go back up. This struggling, I should just went and got the other tractor, really. I mean, look at that. Right. Give us 2 seconds. I'm going to go and do a tactical switch. We're on with the Fiat. All 180 horsepower of it. As you can see, absolutely no issues whatsoever. I shouldn't have tried to use the Steyr, to be honest. It was right on its power limit anyway, and given the fact that there's inclines on this field, we should have just went and got the Fiat straight away, I think. Lesson learned. I mean, this Fiat, I know we have an issue where it only goes up to 6 mile an hour sometimes, but it's an absolute beast for what you pay for it. It certainly allowed us to kick this series on. So what is it? It's only 30 odd grand, isn't it? For a 180 horsepower tractor. Absolutely ideal. We're going to have a look as well. I'm going to have to get the front loader over and move some of them maple crates, because you can't pick them up. I don't know why I've spun around and still come up here. I'll get this corner bit done. Yeah, I think maple's another one where the price is pretty much steady all year round, so we've got some tomatoes to sell as well. I might bring the trailer over and get what maple we've got and get that sold. I know the maple syrup, I don't think it sells at a great deal. If we can find it. There it is. Ah, better than I thought, actually. Didn't think it was that much. Um, 1400, so we have 12 now. I wouldn't fall out with selling it now. Saying that, there's nothing that we need to buy, I suppose. We're saving up for this baler, aren't we? which we'll be able to get once all our silage is done. Is that going to do that? Yeah, it's going to do that little bit there. Let's get spun around. I'll go and get this filled up. We'll get this field finished because well, we need to get that field harvested. We need to get a couple of fields turned around, and we need to get seed in the ground as well in a couple of fields. So we've got absolutely tons to do, and I'd like all that done by the end of today, but I don't think I'll get it all done by the end of the day. Not at this game speed anyway. I would like to get some of it done by the end of today. At least seed in the ground. I think that's important, isn't it? Getting them 2 fields seeded. Right, we'll get this filled up and we'll get back. Right, let's get this finished. Is that going to climb? How are we doing there? I didn't think it would go down that much. I knew it would dip a little bit. I think we sort of flogged into the door, so you're on it. Let's get that off. Is that because it went on that stupid limiter? It is. Brilliant. We'll go back round here. I thought because we were travelling at that speed anyway, we'd just whiz up there. And we should have. I mean, even now we should be doing there. I was going to say we shouldn't be just doing 9 miles an hour. Because there's plenty of power. And there wasn't an issue previously, was there? I think I know FS22 has been out quite a while now, but we can all agree that, well, I hope we can, the colouring is just so much better, isn't it? So much more vibrant. It's what day is it, Dave? It's Thursday. What are we on? What day are we on? Thursday the 5th of May today. And if you're on PlayStation, the free monthly games have just come out. They come out sort of 2 days ago. And FIFA 22 was on there. And for those that you don't know, I was like massive into FIFA up until last year. That is what I spent my time doing. I didn't record anything. But I literally spent all day on Ultimate Team. I say all day, when I wasn't at work. Even when I was at work, because I had it on the app, I suppose. That is what I consumed. Just FIFA Ultimate Team. Play all day, every day, trading away, making sort of millions on the game. I was, not millions as in real money, millions as in in-game money. And I got really good at it. I didn't get really good at the actual playing football, the football side of it. I was average. Well, I was probably above average, but I wasn't sort of top tier, do you know what I mean? But I was a really good trader. However, just the state of the game, I really disliked FIFA 20. FIFA 21 was the game that broke us. That is the game that broke the cycle, so I got out of it. I hated it. It was a horrible game. Awful, awful game. So I didn't bother buying FIFA 22, which is the first time since 2012 that I haven't bought a FIFA. So FIFA 22 is now free, so I thought I'd download it. I'm not missing out on anything, do you know, it's free, I'm not paying for anything. Download it, go back into it, and at first I was like, the first sort of hour or so, when I was doing the odd bits, I thought, oh yeah, it's quite good this. I've missed a little bit of this. And then I went into a game, an online game, and oh my god, that just reminded us of how poor. It's such a poor game. Just the gameplay is absolutely awful on it. And the thing that helped us get away from FIFA as well was finding FS19. That was the one. FS19. Downloaded that and just sort of never looked back. There was quite a bit of a crossover. But yeah, I'm glad I downloaded FIFA 22 just because it reaffirms the reasons why I sort of got out of it in the first place. And you know, I played a lad last night. It was like really early hours of this morning, and he messages after the game, and we pretty much just agreed with each other. It's just a terrible game. I think as well, for those that haven't been involved, the community is so much different. I think in general, the FS community is just so much more positive. Right, I think that's pretty much done for this field. Let's get over to the shed, because we need our seeder on, don't we? I think that's going to be. I want that job done. I want the seeding done in them two fields, even before this harvesting, because I don't need. There's oats in here. I don't need the oats out. Not yet. Saying that though, I've got withering on, and I don't know how many months it'll take for them to wither. I think we should be alright though for another one. He says, if I end up going into August and they wither, I am going to be absolutely devastated. Right, we want soybean. Just like I said in the last episode, we're going to get enough just to keep the production going. There we go. It's a bit dark there, isn't it? I mean, you can see where we've been, but when you go in the shade, it's a lot more difficult. I don't know how long this is going to last as well. I think the soybean lasts quite a long time from what I remember when I'd done the other field. I'd done a fair bit. Right, because the amount we've got to do, and I don't want this video being like an hour long, we're going to go into a time lapse. We will start in this field, however, we're going to drill field number 1 as well. Which is that one there behind us, so we'll do that one as well. So it might be when we come back we're just finishing off field number 1. Probably, I say probably, possibly with soybean, but we'll see. Right, I don't want to be doing that. Let's get that off there. And I've just seen another issue before we go into the time lapse. That's our, I was going to call it a yardstick, but I think it's a bit longer than a yard. That's our measuring tree stumps stick. Okie doke. Are we still on? Are we still on? Are we still on? Yes, we are. Right, time lapse. See you shortly. We're done with the drilling. Both fields have now got soybeans in. However, I totally forgot that the fields need liming. A job that unfortunately we're going to have to do in the rain. It needs doing because if I leave it, we won't be able to do it because it'll get the first lot of growth through. So these two fields are priority basically. Field number 2 right at the back, that needs doing as well, but it hasn't been drilled yet, so that one can wait. I have no idea how much lime I've got down here. That's been there for absolutely ages. And I also, I need that on. Oh no, I don't. I was going to say I need that on to look at the width, but in fact let's look at the width before we start going. Second hand stuff, nothing there. I mean, that looks brilliant, doesn't it? But I really like that. Now with that, I mean, what I was going to say was I could get rid of things like trailers and stuff, but I still didn't look. But I still don't think it's going to justify the 57 grand that it's going to cost. Right, what am I looking for? Fertilizer spreaders. So this is 18 foot, which means massive. Not that massive though. Surely, I'm thinking of the 42 foot one, aren't I? Didn't we have a 42 foot one that covered the whole of this field? I think I'm thinking of that one. I can't believe that took half of that. Right, well we're not going to have enough line to do the other field, are we? We're going to have to go up and get some more of that. This has been seeded, it hasn't been rolled yet. And it also needs a second lot of fertiliser on it. With the weather the way it is, I checked just before we come on. It's going to be like this until sort of about 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock, so I mean that harvester, I parked it there to do that field number 4 there with the oats in, but that's not going to happen today. Although you can get away with doing sort of things like lime and stuff in the rain, you certainly can't be harvesting. I knew that was gonna. I just needed to get right to the edge. around here. There's a bag there, I just don't know how much is in it. Right, and we'll go down here. What I was thinking is, if we get this on now, then when we roll it, that'll sort of get it into the ground, as it were. Because normally we do this before we seed. Just, I forgot all about it. And then maybe in the next episode get the final lot of fertiliser on it, so then it'll just be left then. There's more in there than what I thought there was going to be. However, it does go down sensationally fast. Either way, isn't it? Oh, I'm not thinking of ploughing. I was going to say, isn't it a 15% drop off if you don't line? Oh, I'm not thinking of ploughing there. Remember. To the end. Right. I'm not going to have enough, am I? There's going to be absolute dregs left in here. Right. I'll go and get another bag. One bag of lime, £350. Put this down here. And we'll get this finished. I know, I was thinking on the way down, should I just take the trailer up and get a few bags full? Because we're going to need it for that field at the top of the screen there, but I just thought to get it done, we'll just get the one and then worry about that later. Last little bit. And now we can get the roll. I'm not going to go through the whole roll now. I'll start it and then I think we're going to be finishing. Because, like I said, the weather isn't changing. So I can't do what I want to do really. I can't do the harvest. What's there? That's the weeder. That's the roller we want. I'm gonna have to have a look to see what see how much one of the grass rollers actually make a difference, because they're not overly expensive. Is that not gonna? That's not gonna show up when I've done it, is it? That's gonna be make it really difficult to see. Thought this might have rolled it in. Yeah, that's going to make things difficult. Like, really difficult. Right. I'll do this off camera, because this is going to this is going to take a while. There's going to be lots of going back and forth. I think you can see it this way. You can see the difference, can't you? Oh, we don't. Right, we'll leave it there. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.